Hi Capricorns, welcome to your April 2018 readings. So this month I'm going to be doing it a little bit different just because it was the way I was guided to do it. So I'm going to be using 3 sets of cards, actually 4. One is the usual deck that I use. I have an attachment to it, so hopefully everybody's doing alright. I'm doing the April now because if I try to do the March, then I'm just going to fall behind. And I've been pretty busy with work, family, and school, and life in general. Life, it never slows down, right? Okay, so let's get into it here. So I'm going to try to cover what you need to know, show, and grow, because I find those things quite valuable. And in life, we're all trying to overcome things and progress and move forward. So these topics tend to help with that, right? Hopefully. So the first card we got is I Am Vibrant. The second card we got is I Am Sacred. The next card we got is I Am Third Eye. These cards don't really have any specific, they're not like your original tarot deck, so there's no sign associated with them or card associated with them. It's kind of just vibration feeling. It says going it alone, listening to inner wisdom. And then you have move forward, progress, success, and determination. You have prosperity and money. It did come in reverse. I don't normally do reversals, but we'll see the energy I pick up from that. We have the Ace of Swords, the Star card, and the King of Wands. So for some of you guys, there's some sort of reconciliation with a fire sign here. He doesn't have to be fire. He could have it somewhere in his chart, or he's very extroverted, outgoing. Capricorns can take on the fire energy pretty good when they're getting stuff done. So okay, so what you need to know is, well, you have the card that I'm vibrant. So that means that, you know, there's some sort of truth that's going to come to light. For some of you guys, there's something here about a marriage. Because there's, I'm seeing, like, the ring. Normally I get Lord of the Rings. But I'm seeing, like, an actual wedding with that ring. So there's some sort of bond. I'm not sure if it's coming back together or there's some sort of separation from a bond. There's something here about you guys reflecting about this bond. And for some of you, like, this is a marriage partner that you were with and you're now separated with. You're reflecting on it. And that's not a surprise because it is Mercury retrograde. Usually you reflect on things like that during Mercury retrograde. It kind of seems like for you guys right now, the energy I'm getting and what you need to know is that if there's some sort of separation or you guys are finding that you're alone a lot during this time frame here, it could be happening for 2 months even, I think, for some of you guys. The reason it's happening, it's to get you in tune with yourself. Some of you may need some alone time, so you may need to schedule some alone time for your thought process so you can clear out your thoughts. But it's kind of like you need to, and it's odd, you need to, like, learn about yourself, like your needs, your wants, because what I'm getting with the vibrant is that, like, a lot of you guys have a lot of potential in you. There's a lot of, like, activities, hobbies, music, things that you're interested in that you no longer tend to. And like, you need some time to tend to those things, like to find out what it is you love, what you're excited about. Like for some of you guys, if you're like used to have a hobby where you fixed cars and you no longer do that anymore, or you used to play soccer or football and you no longer do that anymore. Okay, well, like, the cards are kind of asking you to get back in tune with that. You'll have to excuse my finger. I smashed it at work. Uh, for the ladies, it's like some of you are quite like the way like you could be like really good painters, or like this is even talking about like singing at nighttime with your children for some reason. I'm not sure. Bedtime stories with your children. Like there's some sort of creativity here. You could be possible really good writers too. Uh, okay, and then whatever it is that you want to achieve, you may have to do that alone. Okay, like there's some sort of sense here of like it's very self-focused here, but not in like a selfish way, in a way where it's like finding yourself. Like you guys are like on some sort of uh, quest here, which is a little weird. I'd say it's a little weird, but not really. I got strong Aquarius, so you have some sort of truth that needs to be spoken though, or needs to be cut through. It is saying that. So there's like it's kind of like something that you're not willing to face, uh, or another person is not willing to face. And I mean, they're going to have to face it. And Mercury retrograde is bringing things back up to the surface. Things that, people, a lot of the time it's unconscious or subconscious, aren't even aware of. But in some cases, people are aware of situations that they didn't handle correctly, or feelings, things that didn't um, get spoken about or come to the surface. Mercury retrograde will bring that back to the surface. It will bring that so it's out in the open and it's dealt with. So when Mercury goes direct, that lesson or issue is no longer something holding you back. Because you need to go forward. There's a dog barking out there. You do need some time to uh, chill. It is saying that relax, but your opinions are like your intuition. It's almost like others aren't going to be able to solve this problem for you. This is an internal issue, and it's a deep-rooted internal issue. Uh, but you're going to get clarity from it somehow. Okay, and for some of you, it's a family a lot in Capricorn's reading. Okay, okay. So for some of you, there's some sort of sense here where it's like you and a parent, or you and a child, you think you're very different, or there was a disconnect between the two. But in reality, and I believe I've mentioned this before, uh, it's like you thought you were oil and water, and you could be a full-grown adult, and you thought you were oil and water with your parent. Uh, and in reality, you both were a blob of oil on the water. So you're very similar. Like, so perhaps you have a parent that worked all the time, and now you as an adult, okay, and maybe like you felt disconnected from that parent when you were younger. Uh, but you as an adult are almost identical to that parent. Like, and it's masculine. So I feel like it's the masculine energy that you're, that it's a male that's taken that on, or it's a female, and you had like some sort of issue with your father, and that issue that you have with your father is exactly what you're like uh, mimicking. Like, or you've picked up those traits. So like, you know, you could be like, you can work a lot. I mean, that's just natural, okay? Because what parents, it's a like. All right, there's actually a video I've brought it up before. It's called The Like. You do become like your parents, okay? Like my father, he's always saying that me and my mom are really hard workers and we're always working. Okay, well, I picked up my workaholic syndrome from my mother. My thinking process I get from my father, you get a little bit of both, all right? Your children become a combination of both of them, but, I'm not going to lie, I work a lot, and I get that from my mother, all right? Because my mother worked a lot when I was younger, all right? So there's something that you're doing that your parent did, but you actually don't recognize that you're like that parent, though, So like there needs to be a realization here, and you're going to need to be quiet to realize that. Hopefully that helps. Okay. And what you need to show is I am sacred, which means you value yourself. Okay. So this is like with the going it alone. This is like not allowing people to come into your life just because you're bored or you're lonely. This is actually taking the time to like sit quietly. Okay, so this is like not using like calling up your buddies and going out and drinking or partying or just dating random people because uh, there's something missing here. I like there's something missing here, and what the message is coming through is that you're not going to be able to substitute it with other things. Okay, so like basically the cards are asking you to go inwards and reflect on things, not to go to the exterior realm, which is uh, like again going out and like going on multiple dates, or for something that you're lacking, you're not going to be able to get it from the exterior realm. It has to come from the internal. You got to find it yourself, and basically the cards are going to make you sit there and think about it. It's like the universe is like holding you, Capricorn. Like you got to get this done. You got to figure this out, okay? Because you're a beautiful soul. You're vibrant, all right? So like what you feel like you're missing, it's because you're externally looking for it. It's not going to come from the external realm. It's going to come from the internal realm. So like they're asking you to pause, meditate, and really think about things, okay? Because there could be actions taken that are based on uh, the exterior and not the interior. So it's like, you left a person because it didn't, or you don't want to date a person because it's not going to look good to your family members, okay? Or there's something about a marriage here, okay? And with like this fast movement, okay, there's fire there, there's, like um passion, desire, like that's what fire indicates. And then you got these flowers, which are calming and soothing, all right? And then you have this car, which is like really masculine, right? Because it's like I don't know cars, people, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what type of car that is. It's like a sports car, all right? So it's like some of you Capricorns may be on this like you're like looking for something that you're not going to find in the external realm. It's going to come from you. All right. And if you're in a marriage where it's like the passion died out, like this intense desire or whatever, it's not like the first year you guys were together, that's to be expected. All right. Like your partner should be your best friend. Okay. And like your best friend, you can talk about anything, you can do things. It's not. Uh, my my concern is somebody might leave somebody because what they're searching for, they don't realize is not going to be in the external realm. It's an internal thing here. So it's almost like somebody seeking happiness. Okay, they think they're happy, but they're okay. I'm getting the messages weird here. It's almost like whatever you're leaving or whatever you're assuming you're going to find in the external realm, okay, you're not recognizing what the internal issue is. Like with the sports car, it's like you're looking for more it's like risk, more. You might want to go bungee jumping or something, like because like you're looking for this excitement in the wrong area. All right, like I am sacred means that like you have all the things necessary, but you need to respect yourself. Like I am sacred means that like you have limitations on yourself. There's morals and values, okay? And there's sometimes morals and values are healthy and sometimes they're not, but they're necessary. You must have some sort of guideline for you to follow, These readings can go vice versa. You could be dealing with somebody like this. Okay, but there's some sort of healing that needs to happen where and you need to respect the process. Okay, and it can be a very lonely process, and it's supposed to be like that because you're supposed to go internal. And if you're continuously looking for it, okay, if you left something because you thought that it wasn't the way that it was supposed to be, there wasn't enough passion or desire or excitement or risk in it because of that card with the card. Well, you're seeing things very different, and what that, or this could be somebody else, okay? And what the cards are saying, this is a deep reading, you guys. What the cards are saying is basically like you're seeking happiness, and the happiness doesn't come from the external realm, it comes from the internal realm. Nobody can give you happiness, nobody can make you happy, okay? Nobody's usually when you have those relationships where it's high chemistry, that's all it is high chemistry, and it dies out. All right, like you're looking for long term. In the long term, uh, things aren't perfect. All right, like they're not going to always be exciting and on the edge, or you know what I mean. Like sometimes things are going to be calm, cool, and collective. All right, like you're very spiritually protected, but it's almost like the reading is saying that if there's some lesson that you've refused to learn, then the universe is going to ensure that you learn it. That's pretty harsh, man. But there's like, it's good. It's the star card here is hope, renewal, and healing. All right. So what you need to show is that you're healing. You're not stuck in the past. You're progressing. You're moving forward. Is what it's saying. Because Capricorns, when you go into the past, you go down to a depth that doesn't need to be there, and it gets you stuck. And it kind of seems like that's what's going to happen. You're going to be stuck in this like uh, reflective phase, and you're going to be like getting hard on yourself, harder than you need to be. Okay, you just when you're reflecting, you need to reflect on what did it teach me? What did I learn from it? What can I do to ensure that it doesn't happen again? You know, like that's what you need to reflect on, the lessons. And then what you need to show is I am third eye. You have prosperity and money here. Okay, and the prosperity and money came in reverse. So, like for those of you that are trying to access the third eye, okay, and I don't want to get into that too deeply because everybody's got their own opinions about things like that. But it seems like you're for somebody here. It could be the fire sign because the fire sign's here. But he's upright. He didn't come in reverse. Uh, there may be an issue of like finances, like your prosperity, trying to achieve in the material realm could be blocking you from your third eye uh, if you're trying to access it more. That's what it's saying here. Like it's just saying you want to ensure that greed doesn't get out of hand. So what you give, you want to ensure you're receiving, and what you know, like vice versa. The scales are balanced here. Uh, if you're focused on your finances and prosperity too much, it's going to harm a relationship. Okay, and then for some of you that left the relationship, it seemed again like you were looking for more excitement. Okay, and like the cards are saying what you're seeking is just not realistic. Okay, it's that's what it's saying here. What you need to be seeking is internal happiness, and what's going to give you that, well, that depends on you. Like that's going to be your creativity, taking care of yourself, being healthy, having hobbies, having friends, those type of things. You know, like that's when you're comfortable and happiness. Like seeking it through prosperity is not going to achieve anything. There's always going to be this gaping hole of something missing. All right, like And then if you're having financial issues, well, with the King of Wands here, it's saying that you need to take charge. You need to take action. You need to proceed with applying for jobs with higher positions or with higher pay. You need to maybe get out of your comfort zone, because this guy's action oriented. He's not afraid to take risks. Like, so he will get out of his comfort zone. He's a leader. So some of you Capricorns can be really good teachers. Like, you might be really good at teaching. And I'm feeling like for some of you guys, you might be good at teaching children. So there's even some sort of like volunteer program that you can do. You might even create it yourself. So it could be something like simple as, if you're like, you got the car here, if you're good with cars, there may be a program that you're able to create where it's like you teach teenagers how to like do the basic stuff on their vehicles, change tires, things like that, oil, do regular maintenance. I don't know, something creative like that, you know, like. And actually, like, when I picked up this card, it reminded me of a boss I had, and like I heard what he said, like when I picked it up. He had 4 girls, I think 4 girls, and he always said that like his girls knew how to take care of a car better than a guy did. He taught that to them, but he like always told me that he felt that it was important that women knew how to change their own tires, uh, fix the oil, so that way if something happened on the side of the road, they were capable of taking care of it themselves, and they didn't have to be concerned about some weirdo taking advantage of them, or a mechanic taking advantage of them. You know, like, I don't know why that came through. That's odd. But with the prosperity being in reverse, okay, it's, you have too much focus on money, okay, and money's temporary. It can buy artificial happiness, and yes, it does make things more comfortable. All right, like, but it's not the end all be all. All right, and then for some of you, it's not the fire sign. There's another man, okay, and he would. He's either an earth sign or an air sign. He's like interested in you due to finances. So you want to protect what's yours. And then for somebody else, like this fire sign is quite giving and nurturing, and is like, he's going to get to a point of no return where he's just like, uh, he's going to give up. So you may have somebody who's chasing you. Eventually, like, I feel like by 6 months from now, he's going to completely give up. And then there's somebody that you're still trying to attach yourself with that you need to separate yourself from. Okay, so somebody that might have left you, and you're pretty focused on getting back together with them, and they don't want nothing to do with you. So you may have somebody that didn't want to work through issues or problems, and they took the easy route out, okay, and they put their selfish needs ahead of the family and other people's emotions and feelings, because what they're seeking is not going to they're going to find out they made a mistake. Okay, that what they're seeking, they're not going to find, right? And they're going to realize they screwed up, and they're going to realize they screwed up too late, right? And if a person if you have a healthy relationship and things are going well, and a person just picks up and leaves you, I mean, it's possible they're a narcissist, okay? Because narcissists don't really give two craps about anybody else's needs or wants. They put theirs ahead. They're not going to work through things. That's not the way their mindset works. They're going to work for things that, and they're not even going to work. They're going to manipulate to get the things that they want, okay? Because they come first. Nobody else. They come first, all right? They don't consider their children. All right, they don't consider their spouse or what they're doing to their family. They're just going to do what's necessary for them. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters to them. So remove yourself from a person like that. And then for others of you, there is a person here that you can reconnect with. I'm not gonna lie, it is saying that there's hope renewal, all right, of renewing things. And it's a sacred bond. It is. It's a very sacred bond. And then for those of you with your families and stuff, it's saying that, a family trip could do really good for you guys. Out in nature, definitely out in nature activities. So this is like hiking, family hikes. I always recommend walking after dinner, or if you have a dog, walking the dog with the family together at least once a day. I study and I'm certified in a lot of counseling and psychology and stuff like that. And the best time when families have their best talks, deep talks too, you have this like deep energy here, is tends to be when they're out in nature. You do have some really good conversations. Things come out in the open, and they come out in a very calming and soothing manner. Like whereas if you try to discuss things in the house, usually things will get aggressive and out of hand. If you're trying to find things out from your children and stuff, generally speaking, they don't like to talk about certain things. But when you're walking out in nature, it's actually quite healing. Okay, you hear that expression all the time. Mother Nature's healing, right? When you're out in nature walking with your children, you'll be surprised when you're on like an hour-long hike, the topics that they will bring up, and they will bring it up openly. You won't even have to discuss it, and you might surprise yourself when you're doing it with your spouse. That's the things that are coming up. Pretty deep conversations happen. Me and my dad have had some of our best conversations on hikes, and we do go on hikes quite regularly. It is something that I try to ensure that my family does. If they don't want to, I do trick them into it. I am a Sag, people. Yeah, okay, see, so on the prosperity, we have the chariot card here. Everybody's got their own opinion of it. I deal with energies. With the chariot, it's emotions. Okay, there's some sort of deep-rooted childhood trauma that somebody has, and they're not willing to look at it. And what they're doing is focused on the exterior realm, thinking that the exterior realm is going to make up for it, and they're constantly trying to achieve, or get and get and get. And until they stop and listen internally and reflect on, and by reflecting, asking themselves the hard questions. Why did I do this? Why did I say that? Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Okay, you might have to do that to find those deep-rooted issues. There's emotions that aren't being faced here. I mean, and they're deep-rooted emotions. And then for some of you, your creative abilities, you need to go forward with it. You're stuck. Everybody says that Capricorns aren't emotional, and to me that's a bunch of bull. Okay, like they don't express their emotions. What usually happens when a Capricorn's emotional is they get very silent. And like they think about things. They are thinkers. Okay, but the thing is, you don't want to overthink. You want to think about solutions and not problems. Okay, you don't want to be replaying the scenario over and over in your head. Like if you're doing that, you're doing it because you're looking for the solution. You already know what the problem is. All right? So focus on the solution and then take action from there. Okay? It does seem like the cards are saying that you are going to be pulled back into something from the past, but it is going to be from your highest and greatest good, and it's to see things differently. You don't have to make any decisions now, but there are some things that have to come to light, that you have to face truth-wise uh, in order for you to proceed forward. You do have, you want to ensure your vehicle is up to date, okay, you guys? Like, if you want to make sure that pressure in your tires are good, oil, if lights are coming on, tend to those right away, all right? And if your car is not running all that well, then you might want to just park it and take the bus, all right? Don't risk anything here, all right? Ensure that you have insurance. If it expires and it's even by 1 day and you don't have that time to like go back and get it, don't risk driving it, because it seems like there's something here with the car issues. Okay, and some of you can miss, you might just need to go on a long drive, like to free your mind, or a race car track. That could be really fun. You can do that now, or you can go to those professional cars that go really fast, and you can drive them on a track, or that would be pretty cool. Maybe that's what some of you need. There's victory here, though, you guys. After you've done all this reflection and received the truth, then you have victory. You have movement here. You need physical activity, though. Health-wise, you need to get yourself healthy. There's some sort of like thing that you're reflecting on that you're not seeing correctly. It could even be the image that you have of yourself. If you're not seeing how like vibrant and like knowledgeable you are, or how valuable you are, like maybe the people around you aren't showing you that. Okay, and like the cards are saying that okay, well, it may be happening because you need to recognize it within yourself. You don't need the external validation. You need internal validation. Okay. Somebody, it's either somebody or you are not facing emotions, okay? Or they're more focused on work than emotions, and it could be causing a problem in a relationship. Whatever issues there are, you're going to be victorious over it, though. And you're going to be quite intuitive, so follow that. And which is funny because my dad, he's been very, like he'll say things and then like 5 minutes later it happens. Or something like he brought up, it's really weird in the manner it's been happening, will end up like happening a few days later. Like even like it was raining one day or twice. This happened twice. It was raining and he was like, "Oh, I really want to walk the dog, but it's been raining all day. Like hopefully it stops soon." And then 5 minutes later it stopped. Like it was super weird. And when we went skiing, my dad and me were all like, "Oh, I really hope it we get some good snow, some good powder." And then like suddenly like all across the province where we lived, there was like a lot of snow. So like you guys are quite powerful. What you think about, you're gonna bring about. So if you like, you want to focus your intention on vibrant things, okay? Because it's saying that you're sacred, your third eye here. You got a lot more power than you may think. So it's like maybe one day you're craving pizza, and then suddenly, you know, like the husband or wife comes home and they have pizza. So like try to think positive thoughts, like colorful thoughts, like don't go to the negative, or like again the problem. Go to the solution, because like the solution will come to you. All right, Capricorns always have solutions, uh, but try to focus more on the positive than negative. Okay, and then what we have here is for your chakra. I'm not even sure what that image is. It's orange and it is focused on feelings, again with the moon here, or the chariot. Okay, so I'll show it to you. You can pause it and read it. It says, do you crave attention or avoid it? Do you want it to be first or maybe even last? Do you hold yourself back, letting others get the attention you deserve? Do you leap ahead, always at the center, but never sure why? How uncomfortable do you feel about the silence? And that's interesting because you have this card here, and I am getting an energy where you're going to be forced to go internal and be silent. So do you want to fill it? What is it that you're really longing for? Yeah. Seen or unseen, the longing is the same, to be known. Let the silence... Okay, it says, let the silence swallow your urge to react, and you may find the attention you seek is your own. And that's very important, and that flows very well in the reading. All right. And we've all been in this point here. This is not something that, like just Capricorns are facing. Everybody's going to have to face this at some point. They have faced it. They will face it again. I've been here. I've done that. Like I'm sure I'll be there in the future. Uh, do things that make you happy, Capricorn. Don't be concerned about what others. Okay. Don't look at it as money's going to make you happy. Okay. Do things for experiences. Okay, so that is, if you're going to spend money, spend it on experiences, not things. Things are temporary. You never remember what you bought 4 or 5 years ago, but you do remember the memories. Okay, hopefully that helped you guys out. I will talk to you later. Namaste. Ciao for now.